what's cool about some of the owners, I'm not going to name names because I know a lot of the owners now and they're all pretty amazing people. The person that owns this condo right here, pretty well known. We'll just say that. I use his hair products. In about 2 weeks, we're gonna finally close on the unit here. So probably by the time this video comes out, we'll have closed on this unit. This is where the future podcast is going to be. We're gonna start doing other podcasts to the YouTube channel. Today, I'm gonna give you a quick tour and rundown of what's happening out at COTA right now. You can't hear it in here, but you're probably gonna hear it in some of the clips. There are people running the track right now. It's super loud, but we're gonna bring Frank on. We're gonna bring some other people on to talk about what's actually happening in the complex here at Turn 11 Car Condos. And we're actually gonna pop into a couple other condos and show you some of the other stuff. Now, over the last, couple months, we've been, the units here have been kind of waiting for occupancy. So we've been waiting for that. And now that we are able to do the occupancy on this, we're able to close. So for what is going to happen with us for the units here is we're closing in about 2 weeks. And then we start the process of actually building. So we're going to put stairs in here that go up. The whole downstairs here is going to be the actual podcast studio. So if you have a podcast and you're looking for a space to rent, we're going to have a few different looks. If you want to be able to pull in your high-end car or use my car, maybe we're going to get another high-end car. I don't know. Stay tuned for that video. But then up top, so you'll have 4 or 5 looks down here. So we can do real estate content. We can do content for larger podcasts. We're going to have it all pretty nice down here. And upstairs is going to be like a kitchenette, dining, sitting, sleeping area. And so what's cool about up there is we'll have another look up there as well. So we're going to have probably about 5 or 6 looks. And one of the other looks too is if you do have cars that you want to bring in, we're going to have glass up here. Railing, and so we're gonna have glass railing along the stairs and then glass railing here. So if you're interested in having a party out here for our grand opening, drop a comment below. But let's go actually check out the complex itself because there's some cool upgrades that are finally here. And then we're going to talk about some of the other things that are actually going to be kind of the amenities that you get. What's cool is for us, we do a lot of real estate events out here. I do a lot of real estate events for other realtors. We have lots of clients that we could bring out here. And so the event space out here is actually pretty cool because we're going to be able to do events out here. We're going to be able to do community events for our clients. And it's all out here in the unit. So I'm pretty excited about this. You ready to go show them the rest of the complex?
Let's go.
Let's go.
I thought it'd be fun for you to look at the VE.
Yeah.
Just to get you a little bit of a view of what it's like to leave the ceiling open.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Finished out, and they did a different finish on upstairs.
Yeah, because when we met with our contractors, we walked over and looked at this unit.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mind it like that, but I think for what we're doing, I like how they have all the lighting there, actually.
Well, you're going to close it downstairs for sure. Right?
Yeah, we're going to close it downstairs, and then we'll have a bump out like that. So this is a completed unit. In fact, I don't even know if they've moved in yet as far as like finishing. But so what's going to be cool is all of this space. We're going to do something a little bit different for the walls here. But if you think about it, pretty much starting right here, is going to start studio. So we're going to have probably in a corner around here, kind of like an L-shaped couch with different chairs. So you'll have this. We're going to go through. It's really echoey here, but we're going to make sure we do a lot to cut down the echo by putting in some paneling up top. We'll put in some paneling along the walls, obviously look nice Art Deco-y. My plan is to have kind of a set here and then have a couple chairs here. Whereas if you wanted to sit here, have the cameras on this side, and then you have cars behind you. I'm also looking at doing some really big TVs. So when we have the F1 races out here and we have clients and friends come out for the F1 races, you'll actually have like big TVs here. So you can actually watch the race and then walk right out. When I was talking with Frank about what's going to happen with the F1 stuff, it's really, really cool. We'll get to that in a minute, but I'm so excited about all the event stuff and all the kind of amenities you get being an owner here. But Yeah, so I was thinking too, maybe having like a table that comes out. I don't know if you've seen the iced coffee hour. Shout out Graham Stephan. They've got that table set up, and so I was thinking it'd be really cool to have like a table set up. You have cameras on both sides. Do like a table interview here. Probably because this thing is ugly, we'll probably set up like maybe a green screen or something here, and then I'm probably gonna set up desks or something here. So we can have like a, live shoot. So the whole plan is to be able to shoot live. So podcasts that want to come shoot and do like a recorded, we can do that. We used to do Real Migos all the time. So we're actually going to look at bringing back Real Migos and actually film it live in studio in here. So that's something that we're looking at doing. So I'm excited for all that stuff, really. But this is kind of what the downstairs would semi look like. But imagine now just a full set, and that would also probably cut down on some of the echo because it's probably super echoey in here. But the upstairs, we're actually, when we were doing our final punch walk, because that's what we've been doing today, was doing one of our punch walks. We actually walked in a couple of units, so you can actually check that out and see that right now. Dude, I think instead of stairs, I think we'll just put in an elevator, like a lift. Just save space, right? I wonder if they'd let me do that, because then you just put the elevator right here.
Dude.
So this is like one of the ones that they built out. So with buying the units here, you basically buy the shell, right? And that's a cost. And then you have to spec out and build all of your interior finishes. So in a video you saw not too long ago, we had Gino here. And so Gino with Alpha, they're doing the contracting for us. I think we're going to do a pretty similar layout here. Not these same finishes, but a similar layout here. And then if you look, so then you have the bathroom, shower, fridge. But we'll probably have, like in this section, we'll have a big TV up here, big TV up there. So you have TVs on both sides. I'm envisioning like an L-shaped desk right here where Bryce does all the editing and all the fun stuff. And then you'd have a couple pop-out chairs here, so you could have cameras, do like an interview style here with that in the background. Can you imagine a really cool, like big real broker logo over the top of that? What I think we may do is do like a pull-out couch for a bed, or Eileen was talking about doing like a Murphy bed here. I don't know. We'll get to that when we get further into it, but definitely a couple couches, a dining room set. So really, like if somebody's going to be shooting up here and they want that dining room feel, kitchen feel, they can have that right here. So cool. This is going to be another cool kind of like section for people to see, especially for our unit. I know you're asking what do some of the other units look like, and I know you're wanting to know what some of the other amenities that you get with buying in this complex. Let me go show you the extra large. They're going to let us walk into some of those so you can kind of see what those are. Now, the pricing for these units does vary. I think the base price right now for just the shell version of this is about $500,000. And then you obviously, a minute ago, we were just talking with the build out costs with some of the people here. And that's what we were doing. But the build out costs are all a little bit different. Yet a unit like this, they're saying $250 to $300 to build out. We're using somebody else, so the build costs are going to be a little bit different. So you're still looking hopefully under $1 million for a full build out, which is crazy to think a car condo costs $1 million. But that's why we're turning this into part of our business, which is having clients come out here, having agents come out here, and then be able to have you, if you're going to be doing podcasting from our unit. But as a owner out here, what's really cool is all the amenities. And so we're going to go show you one of the bigger units, and then we're going to actually show you some of the amenities. And we'll talk to Frank about some of the cool F1 stuff they're talking about doing. Now, some of the owners out here are very exclusive private people, so I'm not going to tell you who they are, but we're talking beverage distillers have purchased out here. So it's a good possibility that we could have sponsorships from them sponsoring some of these events. Plus the actual complex itself, the amenity center, we're going to be able to rent that out, and other people are going to be able to rent that out and come in and see the space. So all the events throughout the year, though, we're going to be able to use this. So I'm thinking about like F1, going to have parties here, have people come. We'll be able to go over the viewing station when they're racing, and we have all the replay, all of the stuff playing in here. I'm excited. Plus, we're talking about some of the sponsors that may sponsor some of the things that we do out here. So I'm pretty stoked about it. So for all those people that are asking me, I know there are a couple other garage companies out here that do these garages, and they've all reached out to me from these videos. Reach out to me again and tell me, explain to me what is better about your complex versus this complex, because I still haven't seen it. Reach out. Maybe we'll talk a little bit more. Okay, so we're in the amenity center that is here in the complex. Now, there's a big hall right here. So they have off to the side over here, they've got a huge kitchen for events. So this is going to be full of events. And what's cool is you can actually see the track. I can see a GT3 RS coming around to turn 11. So turn 11's right here. So the view literally is of the track looking that direction. There's another GT3 RS. Okay, so they're racing GT3 RSs today. But you actually have a view of the track, amusement park that's going in. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see from this location the putt-putt that is in here. But this whole complex is going to be for events. Now, what's kind of cool, if you're a T11 owner, they're going to be renting this space out to other people than just us, right? We can use the space. I'm sure there's going to be a rental fee. I've talked to them a little bit about what the rental fees are. They haven't nailed down anything specifically, but can you imagine if you wanted to rent this space, that actually goes back to some of the T11 owners. And that way, when we do other events, this helps pay for our events here in the community, which is kind of cool. Again, for the complex, there's going to be 24-hour security system. In fact, above my unit is going to be a camera. So for you thinking you can come check out my unit, there will be a camera directly right over my unit, which is great. But look, so what's cool about like just the turn 11 stuff, these were in Florida for Art Basel. Okay. These are $250,000 bronze statues. Here's a fun, cool stuff that happens at COTA and why you'd buy a car condo at COTA. These got dropped off here because they didn't want to ship them back to Europe because it was too expensive. It was actually cheaper just to leave them here. That's pretty cool. So some of the artwork that you're going to see in the main area. Look, there's Sarah, the manager right there. She's going to be managing everything here. Hi, Sarah. We'll get Sarah on camera in a minute. Let's go show you some of the other amenities you get here. The pool's right this way. I could be the first person right now if I were to pretend fall in the pool and kill this mic. I could be the first person to fall and jump in this pool. They haven't even let anybody in the pool yet. So all right, look, I know it's pretty loud because you have all the cars racing on the track, but don't worry, when you come shoot content in my car condo, it's gonna be nice and quiet. But this is not complete yet, but here's where the conference rooms are gonna be. So for the owners that wanna come do meetings and things like here, they're gonna have all of their stuff run here for T11, but what's the word?
Not too much.
Not too much. So we just got done doing a little walk through our condo. And so I just want to come bother Sarah. So what's your title going to be here?
I'll be the assistant general manager.
Assistant general manager. So her face will be here a lot. So just know when you want somebody that's going to say yes to whatever you ask, she's going to want to be asked. Don't ask Frank because Frank says no to everything. So just kidding. But so what are you excited about for the complex? What are you excited about for some of the owners that are finally closing? So we have some closing.
Oh, I'm really excited just to whenever all the construction part is done and then whenever everybody is here. So what I imagine what's going to happen during events is everybody's going to have their garage doors open and then y'all are just going to be going from unit to unit and be like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? This is what I'm driving. What do you have?
Yeah. Well, and down this row right here is all going to be the extra large, extra larges. So all the big boys, and all the big boys, I'd imagine, are going to have some pretty impressive cars to look at down this main thoroughfare. I am not in the big boy section. I'm in the kids section on the other side, but that's okay. I'm at the party. That's all that matters, right? Oh, hey, Frank. Sorry, didn't see you there.
I know. I'm purposely hiding because apparently you're talking behind my back.
I had no idea you were there.
Of course not.
That camera actually takes off 10 pounds. That's why we bought it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can you does it take 20 pounds off?
Yeah. With that, if you wear a suit, it takes 40 pounds off. Yeah. Not your swimsuit. That actually adds 30 pounds. All right. So I'm with Frank. He's the unofficial mayor. I think we had the last video we put out. We said you were the unofficial, unelected.
So, yeah.
Yeah. The official we didn't know we wanted.
Well, the official that is going to bring a lot of good things to this community.
Okay, that's exactly it.
Exactly what
exactly it. All right, so they just today they gave out, or they announced tickets and who's going to be doing F1. Right. So that's exciting because you do get some discounts with going to the F1 races. Tell us about what the condo owners are going to get for the Turn 11 for F1, but I want to talk about all the other events too.
Sure. So, I mean, the idea behind the community is really to bring people that are gearheads or focused around entertainment together. So you don't necessarily need to have a fancy car to participate. You just need to be part of that group that wants to have fun. So we're really focusing on making this kind of a destination. Obviously, COTA's got the Formula One. It's going to have COTA Land.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is going to bring in some of those elements into the community.
Okay.
We're going to have things that are really geared towards the owner. So specifically for you as an owner and for me as an owner, since I'm also a resident here.
Okay. Yeah.
And depending on the events, obviously F1 is our biggest event. I mean, it's one of the largest events in the US. But for the owners, we have a unique location, a platform, which is
going to be right there.
It's where? At T11,
Turn 11,
which is kind of really surprising. But it's going to be a really neat place where we can all get together. You know, we got a little bit of preview of it last year. This year, we're going to elevate it to 11. You know, going to make it a little bit more fancy. Hopefully, have beverages for the owners, but more importantly, the convenience factor.
Yeah.
I mean, you can walk from here to the platform, watch the qualifying, come back here, relax, have some drinks. And what we'll plan to do during this weekend is probably bring in some celebrities, people like we did last time. Gunter.
We had Gunter,
and kind of have fun, you know, not just be there at the track boiling in the heat. We'll be able to do other things. And going back to, you know, you do get privileges, and as you can get early tickets purchases, and you get 20% off on the tickets that you buy. So that's for F1. We also have the World Endurance Series that's coming in
which
September.
I'm going to. I bought the paddock passes because that is my favorite. Besides F1, that's my favorite event.
That's a really good choice because, first of all, it's 6 hours. It's more open, so you can really go and take a look at the cars. And then we'll organize something around that. Again, it's an evolving series in the U.S. It's very popular in Europe. So I think we're going to get more and more of those events coming into the U.S. And obviously we're taking advantage of that because they'll be here this year. And it's fun. And, you know, we also have at the end of this month SVRO, which is kind of the combination of kind of older vehicles that are racing on site, and you can still go to your platform and check out what's going on without necessarily having to buy the tickets.
That's awesome. Nice. That's awesome. So as far as other events, what are you planning? I mean, obviously we have this event space, you have the pool, you have other stuff. What are some of the events and things that you think that we're going to have out here for the owners?
So, you know, again, it's going to be driven by the owners. I mean, you know, you get out of it what you put into it.
Right.
So that's kind of the plan. You know, if you're passionate about art, and we have a couple of people that are very much into that, we'll probably organize, you know, an art event where we
these guys.
Paul Oz is one of the folks that have kind of, these are on loan, unfortunately. They're not ours.
Yeah.
But, you know, some things that are more maybe elevated and social. So it's not just, you know, you have to be a gearhead. You know, your spouse may not be.
Yeah.
So we'll be catering to both sides of, you know, both the Western and country music side of the house. If you get my drift, we bring in people that are not necessarily just associated with motorsport, but like are around lifestyle, which again, you know, I see this, especially this types of format with tracks, you know, our future track.
Yeah.
It's kind of the new golf club. You know, we used to have like these resorts. I think we're adding that here in this environment. Increasingly, people like you and me, they want to have more of the adrenaline rush rather than running around chasing a little white ball.
Yeah.
You're chasing your laptop.
Well, I heard that in the future there's going to be golf out here.
Yeah, so you can have both sides, you know, if you just want to relax and play some golf.
Yeah.
And then if
I just want to hang out at the pool, you know?
Well, you know what? It's just a matter of asking your spouse to push you in there. You can hang out afterwards to dry up if you want. No, so, you know, to your point, you know, this isn't just about storing cars. This is about basically finding out what this group of people that want to have, a good time, enjoy themselves, really want, and then we'll cater to that. We've got the facility, both here and around COTA. You just need to, put that on your suggestion list, and then we'll work through it.
All right. So what are your suggestions? Put them in the comment section. And by the way, think Franck, Franck, right? Yeah. Yeah. Franck. I had to make sure to call him Franck instead of Frank, just so I remember how it's spelled.
I don't respond to you.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. And before we let you go, let's actually check out one of the cool, larger units that's almost done. So we'll go see that right now.
Yeah. All right. Let's
Thanks.
go.
Yeah.
These cars, these bikes belong to one individual that's going to be joining Condos soon.
Okay. Yeah. See that.
These are all, I would say, some of them are resto mods, and some of them are just one of 100 that have been built. So
this is the extra large.
Yeah, this is an XXL. So,
XXL. Yeah. 6,000 square feet.
Yeah. We like things of substance in Texas.
What's the build out like on this specific unit? Because this is complete. What's the build out unit plus?
So shell is about $2.4 million. It depends on your location. So we've got like a premium site if you're on the other side, because you see downtown. So 2.4 roughly, and then the finish out. We have, as you can see, the most elevated finish out with Gaggenau appliances and stuff like that's about $900K. So all in, you're about 3.3, 3.4, depending if you want, the glass railings and other things like that. So yeah, it's premium product, and I would say you don't need this, but boy, do you want this?
Yeah,
I mean, it's just,
you don't need it, but boy, do you want
it.
Yeah.
So right now we're finishing it off. They use like 2 AC units, only one's running right now, which is why it's a little bit on the muggy side. But once it's running, it should take care of the Texas heat.
Nice.
And you've got downstairs.
They've got a bathroom downstairs and upstairs in this unit. Oh, they have washer and dryer in here too?
So yeah, this is going to be washer dryer.
I didn't even think about that for our unit. Clean all of his. He's going to be here doing his laundry at my unit. You're going to have like cars like a 458s pulling through, luxury cars.
And that's probably your average vehicle. You'll see some of the other stuff that is coming here. This is pretty epic.
Yeah.
We had over the weekend, as we parked in here, we had an Apollo, like the brand new Apollo gun tip, and that car. It's only 10 of them in the U.S.
Jeez,
it's pretty unique.
Well,
purple hue with.
We had out here. Is Brett buying a unit out here?
Oh yeah, Brett is is down the street.
Okay, he was the first one to get the Bugatti Bolide. Yeah, and we got video of that. That was
so
cool.
He's gonna be our neighbor. He's bringing that car. He's gonna store it here.
Oh, sick.
Obviously, he has it kind of maintained and managed by a team. But that's in the future. You're talking about amenities. If you have a track car, we'll have kind of the ability to service. Oh, and by the way, just news at 11, 10% discount. We got a code for Hankook tires.
Oh yeah.
So you can, if you get Michelin's or Pirelli's, Hankook Competition, which is the U.S. wide distributor, is a supporter of T11.
Oh, okay.
So they're giving us, and they'll deliver it to your door, and they'll even mount them for you if you wanted to. So they're good guys.
All right, I need another set of tires for the track.
Yeah, well, the more you track, the more you pay in tires and brake.
The worst part about all of this, I'm not going to lie, is going out and seeing his son drive a GT3 RS on the track made me want to buy a GT3 RS. So it's getting expensive out here.
It's okay because you've probably met Alex Schutman.
Yeah.
So Alex came and drove, I think, the BMW. Next thing I know, he's calling and says, hey, I bought a car, and he bought a GT4 RS just so he could do track days. So
that's the other thing is we get 4 track days a year.
4 track days a year.
Yeah.
That's covered. So basically 2 weekends with food and beverages and hospitality.
Yeah.
We'll be hosting, obviously, in the lounge over there.
Yeah.
And then try to do more than just a track day, which is why the idea of doing a race series.
That'd be fun.
And then I'm also thinking of, finding enough enthusiasts that during the rest of the year, we book the track at a discount, split it amongst us, and we go in and relieve some stress from the daily grind.
Yeah. Look how much space that this has. Dude, I can't wait to put just like TVs everywhere in my unit and just like stream all the stuff. Oh, this is sweet. See, this is why you buy the premium ones next to the pool. It's because you can actually see the track from your patio. Can you imagine watching F1 here? Oh my gosh. What's cool about having the complex here, I keep my dog in the unit, come check on my dog, and I don't have to rush all the way back home. We hang out here. And then this guy's gonna work with all of you to do all of the fun content and stuff in the unit. So I'm looking forward to it. All right, thanks for watching this video. If you are looking to buy a car condo, maybe it's not this one, but maybe it is this one, reach out to us. My information is below. If you are looking just to buy a home in the Austin area, please, we work really hard to help our clients, do a good job for our clients. And pretty soon we may be doing client events right there in that conference center and stuff here at the condo complex for our clients. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. And thank my guy behind the camera for all of his hard work. Thank you, Bryce, for working so hard.